No, do it like you're getting murdered. Wow, that's a very terrible murdering. Bang. If you don't know this already, there's a common misconception that all deaf people have the ability to read lips. Hearing people sometimes have a tendency to think that all deaf people are born with a superpower called lip reading. Side note, you may sometimes see lip reading referred to as speech reading, since that's not what specialists are saying is a more accurate term for it. And it's really difficult for these people to move away from that sort of thinking if you're an oral deaf person, or if you just happen to communicate orally to that hearing person at that one point in time. Here's a fact: only 30 to 40% of the English language can be read on the lip, and 30 to 40% still isn't a 100% guarantee. That 30 to 40% has to be in the best condition. That means no background noise, perfect lighting, and little to no facial hair. Because I grew up mainstream and had no access to sign language, I had to communicate orally. I've been communicating orally since I was a child, so I'm pretty damn good at it. However, just because my mouth works, that doesn't mean my ears work. Breaking news at 11! My ears don't work that well. But I would still know when a friend of mine is being brutally murdered by a serial killer, because deaf people do have peripheral vision and can feel somebody banging repeatedly on a door from 3 feet away. I've been traveling a lot lately, so when I'm supposed to communicate with somebody, especially customs, I normally have them write it down or point to something so I know the question that is being asked, so I don't answer it incorrectly. The people at customs then usually ask me if I can read their lips or not. And so far, most of them continue to talk as if I can and don't write a point. Shout out to the border agent and secondary questioning for typing out every single thing while I felt like I was going to be denied entry into Canada. You the man. And that is why I have signed and or typed to everyone during my last 2 trips. During YouTube Next Step and the social events during and after, I didn't get a lot of the conversation and I didn't really get involved in a whole lot because it was assumed that I could read lips. No, I can't lip read. Those were fun times. When I'm at my doctor appointments, I am always telling them to write everything down because I am not risking getting the wrong information. If I have trouble lip reading everyday conversation, do you really think I'm going to be able to understand really fancy medical terms? And while we're talking about appointments, I'd like to take this time to tell all of you dentists out there that it is impossible to lip read you all while you have your mask covering your mouth. I can't lip read in dark places. I can't lip read in loud places. I can't lip read in bright, quiet places. I can't lip read if you're 20 feet away or 2 feet away. A couple months ago, I was at Shoppers and I thought the cashier had asked me if I wanted a bag for my things. I said no, and she did not look happy with me. Turns out she asked me if I could put the shopping basket on the floor. That was a fun time. There have been so many incidents similar to that. At least once every time I go out somewhere. I'd get so many things wrong and embarrass myself just because I can't lip read well. But I've gone shopping and to cafes and to restaurants enough to know that somebody's going to start out with, "Hi, how are you?" or "What can I get for you today?" That's just the standard. But that doesn't mean I'm going to understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. So for the end of this video, I invite you all to do a little exercise. I'm gonna say some words, the entire clip is going to be muted, and in the comments below, I want you to guess and type the words and phrases that you think I said. If you got them right or wrong, you may never know. I'm definitely curious to see how you all did, and I am so excited to see your answers. And I will see you later. Bye!